and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be making you a huarache. Huarache is a Spanish word for sandal. Now you may have already know this word and you didn't realize that it's something that you could also eat. Yes, it is a tortilla. That is what it is. It is basically made like a gordita. A gordita is a tortilla that has some lard in it. This goes a little bit extra and it has some bean in it. But it is called a huarache because of the shape. Now, we don't have to worry about the shape of it. We can make it just round and it'll be just fine. All right, so let's get to cooking. All right, so my counter here has a lot of items here. Do not let that intimidate you. I have some ingredients here on the side. You don't see them all. But I'm just going to keep this as simple as I can. We are going to be using this product. It is a masa. You can use any brand you want, which is an instant corn masa. And you just want simple instant use because all you have to do is add water to this. And that is just to make a simple tortilla. Now to make our huarache, we are going to add some beans and some lard to it. So I'm going to measure about a cup of this. It all really depends on how much you want to make, but you want to just start small at first, get your practice going. It is not hard. Now if you've already made tortillas before the simple way, then you know it's not that big of a deal. So just go and start preparing it like you normally do. I'm going to add a little bit of warm water. This is warm water. You can add a little bit of hot water. It kind of helps just to kind of break things up and get things going. And what you want to do is you want to add a little bit at a time, just to the point where your dough is going to stick together and is no longer sandy. Okay, so before I continue mixing it, I'm also going to add some lard, and I'm using some vegetable lard. You can use pork lard, whatever type of lard you want to use. You can even add some coconut oil. And I just add a heaping spoonful of it, as you can see right there, just like that. And I'm going to push that in there. That's why I want to use, pretty much warm to hot water, because it'll help break down that lard and get it into my masa, or my corn masa here. I also want to add some salt. I'm going to add some pepper. You don't have to add any pepper to this. Salt is just enough that you need to add to this. But I like to add extra little seasonings and flavors to it, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to remove my ring. All right, so I'm going to add some salt. I have to clean that up later. And some pepper. And I actually have some minced garlic right here. You could add your own fresh garlic if you want, or some powdered garlic. Like I said, you don't have to add these type of seasonings and flavors in there. You're going to flavor it however you want. So if you don't want to add these things and just add salt, that is enough. I like to be a little extra. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water. Now if you add too much water and it's too runny, you could always add more masa, so it's best to do this a little bit at a time. This is starting to get together, and I know it is all well mixed once the masa will come off of my fingers. So if I can do this and it comes off of my fingers easily, then that's when I know that my masa is ready. So it just needs a little bit more. And then you could also take it and kind of roll it around inside of your bowl, and if it pretty much cleans up your bowl, then that's another sign, that this is ready. Okay, let's take off the other rings. There we go. So this is what you want. A masa like that. It is soft. Remove all the other little bits of masa that are on my finger. That's how I know that this is perfectly mixed. All right, so let's go to the next step. All right, so I'm going to be using this little mechanism. It is a tortilla press. This is what it looks like. Now, when you use this, you want to line it with some plastic on here or some parchment paper. You don't want to stick your masa straight on here and press it, because it'll just stick on here. You won't be able to peel it off. So you need to be able to use that. If you don't have a tortilla press, you can use a rolling pin a little pastry roll like I have here. You can use that to press down your tortilla. Now I've gotten a couple of parchment paper here. I've already started cutting it. What I was doing is I was cutting it to fit inside of my tortilla press. So I'm just gonna continue cutting a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want a sheet for the top and one for the bottom, so I can put my masa between them, and then I can easily peel off my tortilla from here. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use one of these plastic bags that you get like when you grab your produce. What you want to do is you just want to cut off most of your bag. You just want it to be wide enough for your press here. Cut that off. Of course, you want to make sure you have a clean bag. Maybe grab an extra one from your grocer. Okay, so now I have it cut in half, and I can actually just put it like that and then do that and then press my tortilla. Okay, so whichever one of these items you have, you can use wax paper. Okay, let's go to the next step. Okay, I'm going to take my dough, and I'm just going to take a small amount like that and roll it. And I'm going to roll it kind of in a long shape like that, and then press right in the middle, just like that. And then you're going to take a little bit of some beans, and you can use any beans you want. Just make sure they're mashed up like that. You can use some black beans if you don't want to use the regular pinto beans. All right, so then we take another piece, just like we did the other one here, and then we're going to put this on top, and we're going to just kind of close the beans inside of there. It doesn't matter if some of it gets squished out, it's no big deal. But I'm trying to form kind of that elongated form. If you don't want to do it like that, you can go ahead and just do a little circle, a little ball. And I'll go ahead and just do that, just to make things a little bit easier so we don't have to worry about the shape. All right, a little ball like that. All right, so now that I've got a little bit better position, now I'm going to put my other parchment paper on top, and we just want to give it a light press. Don't try to, squeeze it too hard and then you end up kind of breaking your tortilla press. I'm going to turn it over because the side that was closest over here got thinner, which is now on this side. So we want to get this side, which is a little bit thicker. We want to get that one thinner now. So you do want to rotate it, and there we go. And then this, you can just peel it off just like that, okay? And that's what we're gonna go put on our griddle. Okay, so now you wanna take your griddle and you wanna get it nice and hot. I'm gonna add some more of the lard and let that melt. I'm using a nonstick pan or a skillet. So if you don't have a griddle, you can use that. You just wanna make sure that the bottom of your pan is flat and wide enough for your huarache, your tortilla. Okay, so we want to get that in there and get that to melt. Okay, so I've turned down the heat to about a medium. I don't want it to be scorching hot. This is my tortilla, and I want you to see about how thick it is. You don't want to make it too thin. I went ahead and I redid mine. It was a little bit too thin. So now I can put that in the hot oil and keep a little spatula nearby so it helps you turn it, because normally you can turn a tortilla with your fingers if you're careful enough, but because I do have some hot oil in there, we don't want to touch that, so we want to use a spatula. All right, so I'm going to let it fry up a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it over. So it takes about a minute or so for that to cook. It has been about a minute and a half, and I can go ahead and flip this over. There we go. So you see how that looks? You want it to get like that, nice and toasty. So now we're going to cook the other side for about a minute and a half, up to 2 minutes. All right, so it has been another 2 minutes, and the tortilla or huarache is now ready. So I just slid it over onto a plate so that you can see what it looks like. It will have the flavor of the beans and the garlic that I added to it. So like I said, you don't have to add the garlic or even the pepper to it, but I'm just showing you how you can enhance the flavor. So if you want to eat it just like that, it is perfectly delicious like this. Okay, but we are going to add some toppings to that. So let me show you how I'm going to dress this up. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can dress these up and get these ready to serve up and heat them up. So I've got 3 of them here. I can actually make 2 with the amount that I made. So you saw me use about a cup of the masa or the corn masa. And I made 3 here. Now, if I'd have made it a little bit bigger, I would have had 2 nice sized ones. But as you can see here, I had a little bit extra. And this one kind of broke up on me, but that's okay because I want to show you that you can eat it plain as it is. And my gosh, it smells delicious because of the garlic. So you can take little pieces of your huarache like that and eat them. Maybe put them in some salsa, your tortilla soup, whatever you want it, or just eat them like that, like a little snack. It is absolutely delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and try it because it smells yummy. All right, so now I'm gonna take some refried beans. You wanna get them nice and hot. And I'm gonna spread some on top of my huaraches, and I have 3 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all 3 of them like this. Okay, so we'll be generous with your beans on there. You can serve them up just like that. And on this one here, you want your beans to be nice and hot. You can add some queso fresco, just a little shredded cheese on top, like that. And you can eat it simply like that. Add some salsa on top if you want. It is delicious. We can add some more toppings to that. All right, so now for these other 2 here that I've got on this little sheet pan, I'm gonna add some mozzarella cheese. You can use any other melty cheese you wanna use. I'm gonna use this because I happen to have some mozzarella cheese. And I'm just gonna pour a nice amount of that on top. And I've got my oven already preheated at 350 degrees, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there just enough time for the cheese to melt. So that's all I'm gonna do, and we'll be back with those. Now here are the 2 that I pulled out of the oven. You can see the cheese all melted on top. They look absolutely delicious. You can eat them just like that, but I am gonna add extra stuff to them. So here I have some cabbage, and it is just a shredded up cabbage, and I can add some on top. You can add some meats on here if you want to add some pulled pork or some beef or chicken, whatever you want. Some fajitas would be nice on top of these. I'm gonna add some fresh chopped onions as well. I've got some jalapenos right here, and I've got some tomatoes. I want to top that off as well with some nice tomatoes. And I've got some cilantro right here, so I want to just add everything I can to my huarache. So I'm sticking my foot in it is what I'm doing to my little sandal here. And then I can top it off with some more queso fresco, just like that. I can make it even more extra. I'll add some aguacate or some avocado right here, all nice sliced up already. It was ready for me to just pull it out. And if I want to be extra, I can use some crema fresca, some creme fraiche, and then just put some on top if I wish. You don't have to add any of these extra things. I'm just showing you all the yummy stuff that you can put on there. And I would probably grab a fork and eat it with a fork. And I'm also going to top it up with some cholula. So there we go, you guys. A perfectly topped huarache. This one I'm just going to add some onions, tomatoes, and some jalapeno. A little bit of cilantro on there as well. And I'm going to add some avocado. And that one's going to be for my husband. He doesn't need all the extra stuff that I put on mine. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to taste these and find out if I did a good job or not. And of course I've got some lime because I also like to squeeze some lime on top. All right, everyone, time to give it a taste. My husband's already tasted it. He said it was good. So let me just cut off a little piece like that. I would like to lift it up with my fingers, but I feel like it's all just going to fall apart. So let's just taste this. You guys, I'm going to give my huarache a big old thumbs up. I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up and you enjoyed watching my video. Please leave a kind comment down below. And let me know what you think of my recipe. Would you be trying this? I really hope that you will. It is something a little different, a little variation on a tortilla or a chalupa, if you are familiar with a chalupa, which is just a regular toasted tortilla with toppings on it. We went a little bit further by adding a little bit of fat to it, or a little bit of beans in there, and making it absolutely delicious, enhancing it with some garlic, and I highly recommend that you do add some minced garlic in there. It is the bomb. I don't know what else to say. It is delicious. So please, if you haven't already subscribed and you enjoy my video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of all of my videos. I hope that you enjoy your weekend, and as always, enjoy.